Well, Tier 0 Metaphys is a very bold claim here, but I will say I'm very, very intrigued. So, Team Outlast got the top 4 Metaphys regional deck profile, and I wanted to cover this because I wanted to give my opinion on this. I did not think in 100 years we would be seeing Metaphys at the top tables at an event. And lo and behold, we have done just that. Keep in mind, this is all before Gold Sarcophagus dies to the very beautiful bullshit that Thunder Dragons are going to do to it in its lifespan. But we have done it. Now, Metaphys is an engine that kind of thrives on removing from game and things like that. So when I look at this deck, I'm like, oh, so the deck's generalized flaws are going to be it's going to lose to itself because it can't generate the cards that it needs for its RFG pile. Well, somebody decided to take the challenge, go against the standardized mentality of the player base, and fucking broke the mold. Now, would this be the build I would go with? Looks very solid on paper. 43 cards can be a little bit hefty, but it's fine. You don't really give a shit too much about that. Generalized floodgates. Good floodgates. Good floodgates. I think a lot of people kind of underestimate the power of Goes and Rivalry, and I think a lot of people kind of forgot about there can only be one. Fun fact. But here we are. Metaphys has finally succeeded at breaking its own mold, and it's got some very interesting tech choices. Actually, very intrigued to see the copy of Waking the Dragon in the main deck. I understand why you have to play it. Your opponent's going to be trying to kill your back row. And if you get into one of those matchups where you're setting a lot of back row and things where you're interacting with like Sky Strikers, and you flip this, you should just outright kill your opponent. So, kind of, I'm not going to say this was an interesting tech choice. I think this was probably just more adapted of the generalized meta that he was going to be playing in. But do we miss the point to where we kind of miss Waking the Dragons as just a very powerful out that decks can play and use these extra deck resources? Last Way from Another Planet and Exterio down here looking like fucking very, very, very good choices. So, this is the 4th place Utah regional deck profile, and hot damn, it is fucking cool to see this deck. So we have 2 copies of Ash Blossom. Considering I'm going to let this deck slide with 2 of these, a little bit more of the OCG mentality following this as a 2 of. Honestly, you don't want to get flooded out with these. Seeing 3 of these in your opening hand could probably be detrimental to you. So 2 seems fine just in terms of numbers. 2 copies of Honest. I've kind of noticed more and more, even at like a regional level that you would be playing at, something like Honest can catch your opponent so off guard it actually just hurts. The fact that the monster will retain the attack points until the end of the turn is very, very deadly. Honest is a hand trap that I definitely think a lot of players disregard in and itself. But when you're playing a deck like this, or playing against a deck like this, you need to be aware that Honest does exist. Honest alone, though, will be able to steal you games. Once again, we kind of got to that point where players are forgetting about older cards. And because of that, hey, you know, we got to take advantage of this, and Honest is definitely something that you should probably be playing in this deck. Honestly, just because of the power that it generates you. Alright, up for the first boss monster, we have Triple Metaphys Daedalus. So if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Metaphys card, to banish all other face-up special summon monsters on the field. This card is banished during the standby phase of the next turn. Shuffle this banished card into your deck, and then banish 1 Metaphys card from your deck except for Daedalus. You have a built-in board wipe, and built-in board wipes for special summon monsters are incredibly important to making sure that decks like this can succeed. If you can get access to this on your opponent's turn, fucking big whoop-de-doo. But it also floats into itself if your opponent banishes it. And it's not like you don't have floodgates to force these monsters back out on your own accord. Now, next up we have 2 copies of Metaphys Decoy Dragon. So, Pendulum effect. When your monster is targeted for an attack, you target one of your Metaphys monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. Banish this card, and if you do, special summon that monster in attack position. So, as long as your opponent's attacking, you have this in your pendulum scale. Bada bing, bada boom, you summon out a bigger dragon. I don't know how many people are going to fall for this, but, I mean, you got to trigger it at some point, right? And the monster effect. When your monster is targeted for an attack, you can target one of your Metaphys monsters that is banished or in the graveyard, banish this card, and if you do, special summon that monster in attack position. During the standby phase of this card was banished, you can special summon this banished card. Oh no, this thing floats from infinite usage. Alright, this card's kind of cool. I like this. So, whew, a little scary. Then we have triple copies of Metaphys. So if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Metaphys card, you can banish all spell and trap cards that are set on the field. If this card is banished during your next standby phase, you can shuffle this card into your deck and then add a Metaphys card from your deck to your hand. So this is your Rhoda and your spell and trap row board wipe. Very, very powerful card. 2400 doesn't seem like very much, but I think when you're playing a deck like this, it can get the job done. And then 3 copies of Metaphys Ragnarok. So if this card is a normal special summon, banish the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, this card gets 300 attack for each of your banished Metaphys cards. And when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon 1 level 5 or higher Metaphys monster from your deck, but banish it during the next end phase. So long as this guy can actually poke your opponent, you can bring out Daedalus or you can bring out Metaphys. Now remember, this does not negate the effects of the card that you bring out. I repeat, this does not negate the effects of the cards that you bring out with it. Whew. Fucking power, baby. I will say that I think that this is probably one of the better cards that you have access to in your armada of monsters, just purely for what it does. Getting that monster out on the field, having it potentially buff itself up, it's all just fucking free resources to you as a player. Then we have 2 copies of Metaphys Tyrant Dragon. If this card was special summoned by the effect of a Metaphys card, it's unaffected by trap effects. It can also make a second attack during each battle phase. If you battle the monster, and if this card is banished during your next standby phase, shuffle this banished card into your deck, special summon 1 Metaphys monster from your hand, but it's banished during the end phase of the next turn. Trap negation or trap unaffectedness, I don't particularly feel that this card's all that good, but it's another Metaphys card. You've already kind of got a limited pool of monsters available to you, so may as well take advantage of the ones you have, even if they're not particularly just the greatest thing in the world. So I mean, he stands at 2900, seems good to me. Now, one of the cooler things that the deck has going for it is it does get access to Necrophase. So if this is banished, each player banishes the top 5 cards of their deck, or their entire deck if it's less than 5. So kind of something to keep in mind. This card definitely fuels your rage. Triple as Metaphys. Once per turn, banish 1 Metaphys card from your hand if you do draw a card. Then once per turn, if your Metaphys card is in owner's position, is banished, and apply the following effects. So your turn, all monsters on the field lose 500 attack and defense except for Metaphys monsters. And then opponent's turn, change all battle positions of all monsters on the field except for Metaphys monsters. Yikes. Pretty good. Then we have 1 copy of Dimensional Fissure, triple copies of Gold Sarcophagus, 2 Metaphys Factor, this is the field spell. Each turn, 1 level 5 or higher Metaphys monster normal summon, or you normal summon, can be summoned without tributing, but banish it during the end phase of the next turn. Your opponent can activate cards or effects in response to Metaphys monster effect activations. Hot diggity damn. Who doesn't like locking out your opponent? We have 1 copy of Raigeki, 1 Macrocosmo, triple Metaphys Ascension. So you can discard 1 Metaphys card to draw 1 card. You can banish 1 Metaphys monster from your deck. If this card is banished, you can add 1 Metaphys card from your deck to your hand except for Ascension. You can only use 1 Metaphys Ascension effect per turn and only once per turn. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Banishing for a Rhoda, or the ability to draw a card and banish to set up combo. Seems like a really good card. We have 2 Metaphys Dimensions, so if your opponent special summons a monster during the except during the damage step, you target 1 of your banished Metaphys monsters, special summon it, but banish it during the end phase of the next turn. If your Metaphys card in its owner's possession is banished while this card is already face up on the field, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, banish it. I like that. Who doesn't like non-targeting removal, or removal in general? We have 2 Rivalries, 2 Storming, 2 There Can Only Be 1, and 2 Waking the Dragon. The extra deck, we have 1 Trisbania, 1 copy of Mermaid, 1 Borreload, 1 Borrelguard, cannot be destroyed by card effects. Once per turn, send 1 of your spell and trap cards in your zone to a graveyard. Special summon from either graveyard to your field 1 monster that was destroyed and sent there this turn, but negate its effects. Once per turn, quick effect, you target 1 monster on the field, change it to face-up defense mode. Your opponent can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. Good revival. Then we have 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 Ultimate Falcon, 1 Utopia Lightning, 1 Utopia, 1 Trishula Scarlight Omega, Metaphys Horus, Last Warrior, Exterio, and Mega Fleet to break that U-Lock. And then we have 2 Cyber Dragons, 2 Droll Unlocks, 2 Effect Veilers, 2 Seer Modes, 2 Soul Absorption, 2 Heavy Storm Duster, and triple Mask of Restrict, bringing this list on home. I definitely want to say, Team Outcast, thank you for getting this list out. I think that this information is very valuable to the community, and fuck, it's Metaphys. Who isn't excited for this? Guys, please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about the deck, and I'm out, guys. Peace. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.